The Bible is for me.
Great.
Fantastic.
It's a new day.
It's a new summer.
It's a new book. Welcome to the Bible is Funny podcast. Today we kick off our newest book of the Bible.
It's been around for a while.
Only was released thousands of years ago. Today we're getting into Deuteronomy. Tim. What's so funny?
You said deuter.
Because it's a deuter.
You said deuter.
It's spelled different.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
D-E-U. Like deuce.
It's another word for poop.
Come on.
That's another word for poop. Enough of the hijinks. Yeah. Today was summer. Today was summer today. It was hot today.
Oh, okay. It was hot today, yeah.
And also, today was the first day that I heard an ice cream truck in my neighborhood.
Wow.
I know, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Reminded me of being a kid. What was your ice? Were you too poor to get ice cream out of the ice cream truck?
I was certainly too poor to get ice cream. The one time
really?
I ever got one.
Because we were, but I would scrounge up. I need nickels, man. I'd go out there. It's like $1.25. I could find that.
We didn't. Yeah. I don't. I don't. What I want to say, I don't want it to come across like everybody listening goes, "Ooh." But I just like stopped asking for things because we didn't have the money.
Well, that's why I got a job in high school.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to be able to afford that. The one time I did, I got they had a gumball at the bottom.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. The gumball at the bottom.
I always thought, and honestly, a lot of it was for the value. Because I feel like I'm getting ice cream.
Two candies at the same time. Yes.
You guys are not.
Yeah.
I was a big Rita's kid.
Oh.
I think that's that's regional, right? Like that's not...
No, it's actually not. I think it started in Pennsylvania or something. Rita's Italian ice. But the guy here has been here for like 30 years.
My Pennsylvania family has strong feelings that it's called water ice, not Italian ice. And I think that's because... What do you look...
I thought I got attacked by your curtain here.
You're looking... I thought you were saying because my family's Italian that they were going to plot your death.
They're coming after me.
Mafia based.
No, but there is a... Yeah, there's Italian ice, but then there's Rita's, and I want to say the Rita's even has the same like logo and everything. It almost looks all the same.
Yeah,
but it's a different name up in the Northeast.
There's a thing that really nobody cares about, but I always do, is when chains change regionally. When you're like Panera turns into like St. Louis Bread Company or whatever. I'm always like, does everybody know? There's things that are annoying. People talk about that, like you can't not say. You're on a road trip, you say cows. People talk about if you're watching a movie and it's a one shot, you have to say it out. Like, you know it's one shot, they never cut. That's one for me. I'm always like, do you guys Panera? You guys know Rallies is Checkers? You guys know this? They're the same.
Hardee's? Huh?
It's the same. Carl Jr., same. Isn't that wild? They try to trick you.
Wow.
Trying to get in your mind, but they can't. I know they're the same. And then they lock me up.
You think this is Exodus? No, it's Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy starts today. We're pressing through.
Do you like that transition I did?
Yeah, that's right.
It's called a segue, folks.
Segue.
They teach you that in improv school.
Deuteronomy. We're going to cover 5 chapters of Deuteronomy today as we continue a segment we like to call Cheat Day Devos. We're reading the Bible together. That's good. Mm-hmm. We don't know much about it. That's why it's a cheat day.
Whoa, not anything insightful.
Not anything insightful. Mm-hmm. I know what NIV stands for. That's not nothing. Mm-hmm. Deuteronomy is the next book. I don't know. I was going to say something, and it was one of those sentences.
You censored yourself. You didn't say the dumb thing you were going to say.
That's correct.
You're evolving.
That's right.
That's amazing.
I saved everybody that joke. Yeah, important note, Tim and I don't know much about the Bible. Do not use what you hear in this podcast today to go out there and make a major spiritual decision. Mm-hmm. But it's fun to read the Bible with your friend, I think. And so, that's the genesis of this podcast.
It is fun to read the Bible with your friends.
But Genesis is a different book. Mm-hmm. Not the one we're doing today.
I always read the Bible with my friends for fun.
It's just the funnest. We're supposed to do it in a group. So somebody can make jokes about it. I think that's where we've gone astray. Is everyone was like, no, do quiet time, personal, go do it yourself.
Right.
It's like, well, what if you're not the one who brings the jokes? And then if you're the jokey person, you don't have somebody to tell you what, like, I don't have Mallory to tell me what it actually means.
This is literally why we do this thing.
You need contributors. We're the jokey ones. So that's the rules. Deuteronomy chapter 1.
Tutor.
Tim, what do we need to know about Deuteronomy chapter 1?
That it's the first chapter of the book of Deuteronomy. All right, this is the fifth book of the Bible. One of the books of the Bible. Fifth. Are we on 5?
It's 5, yeah.
Wow. Amazing progress we're making here, folks. We'll be done in no time. Deuteronomy 1 starts, "These are the sermons Moses preached to all Israel when they were east of the Jordan River in the Arabah wilderness, opposite Suf, in the vicinity of Paran, Tuphel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Diz." You don't care. "It takes 11 days to travel from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea, following their Mount Seir route." And these are the sermons Moses preached to Israel, I imagine on this road trip. And can you imagine sitting through 11 days of sermons, especially for Moses, as I'm understanding him now and slowly growing to dislike him. 11 days of sermons from this guy, this pretty arrogant dude who says he's talked to God, which maybe he did.
Humblest man that ever lived, first of all. We already covered this. That's funny. That is actually helpful, practical information. I read this and thought about it being written down and was like, I would immediately try to do this road trip in 9 days. You telling me it takes 11 days to do it? Just treat you the same way I treat Google Maps.
Well, maybe that's how the end of Deuteronomy ends up, where Moses starts by going, takes 11 days. Turns out, did it in 7. I'm just saying, it takes 11. But we don't know.
It is an 11-day drive. I did it in 8 days.
So Moses goes on. It's the first day of the 11th month of the 40th year when Moses addressed the people of Israel, telling them everything God had commanded him concerning them. So Moses is now kind of recapping. He's going back.
A lot of recapping.
Saying everything what just happened in the last couple of books, the Bible. And Moses preaches to Israel on the plains of Moab. And he said, back at Horeb, this is verse 6, back at Horeb, God, our God, spoke to us. You stayed long enough at this mountain. On your way now. Get moving. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm reading from the Message version translation of the Bible. So there's a lot of that paraphrasing stuff that is just really fun for me. Verse 9, he goes into he's kind of recapping all the stuff that happened and what God said and what they did and where we came from and all this stuff. Right. And he says that at the time I told you, he's talking with, it's a land God promised to them. He says, at the time I told you, I can't do this, can't carry you all by myself. God, your God, has multiplied your numbers. Why, look at you. You rival the stars in the sky, and may God, the God of your fathers, keep it up and multiply you another 1,000 times, bless you, just as he promised. And I get the feeling he's looking at this crowd of a ton of people going, guys, you guys are multiplying a lot. You guys are making a lot of little Israelites, and this is getting out of hand. But a lot. And also, you guys don't shower very often. And I just don't even know how. This must be a miracle that you guys are procreating in these conditions. This is fantastic. And then he's talking about God later, and he says, he talks about the people. And he said, but I carry this all by myself, all your troubles and burdens. So select some wise, understanding, and seasoned men from your tribes, and I will commission them as your leaders. And verse 14 says, you answered me, good. That's a good solution. So you said it. You told me it was a good solution. By the way, if anybody's keeping track, you told me this was a good idea.
Right.
And so he goes on. He goes on like that, and he sounds kind of funny when he's talking to the people of Israel about well, this is what God told me, but you told me this is a good idea.
Deuteronomy 1 through 5 is what we're going to cover today, and it does have a lot of this tone of a guy telling the story, retelling the story. These are all stories we've covered. Spoiler alert. Everything we've done, we've talked about before. But yeah, it's him recounting it now, which I think is good. I think there's importance to that. Like you have it in your family, you tell stories, you remember when this happened and you learn this lesson. I get it, but this comes across, this particular passage of scripture comes across like really interesting. I had something in 25 along these lines, where he's recounting the story of the 12 spies that go to the land. He says, taking with them some of the fruit of the land, they brought it down to us, which is true. They brought this big giant, you may remember a couple episodes ago, they brought this big giant, took 2 of them, some big giant grapes. Then they said taking with them some of the fruit of the land, they brought it down to us and reported, it's a good land that the Lord our God is giving us. And again, this is just kind of funny. It's like, actually, we're told 10 of those spies didn't they said it was too big. The people there were big, and it was only Joshua and Caleb that were like super pumped about it. So like again, I'm not nitpicking Moses' storytelling here, but it does give me a little bit of the vibes throughout this text. There's a couple times it shows up, just a hair of like when your parent is retelling a story from your childhood, and they're like, we used to go to grandma's every summer. You loved going to grandma's every summer, and you're like, no, I didn't. No. I never loved going to grandma's.
Oh my gosh.
I would complain the whole time. I never liked going to grandma's.
What trip were you on? It stunk. Her house smelled.
Her house was. You always put me downstairs. There were so many cats, and I brought this up. I said this a lot, but it got logged in your brain as like everybody loved grandma's.
That's when I had to go get stitches in my hand because she had the power cord was left out, and I got zapped, and I pulled my hand away, and I cut myself on the. You don't remember that?
The nightmare summer for me.
Oh yeah, I guess you did.
I remember all the spies loved it.
Yeah.
Like, no, we have record. We said 10 of the spies. We're not pumped. So that jumped out at me from 25.
Sorry. No, go ahead. There's just more of Moses saying like, I tried, verse 29, I tried to relieve your fears. Don't be terrified of them. God, I tried this. And then 34 and 36, like when God heard what you said, he exploded in anger. He swore, not a single person of this evil generation is going to get so much of a good look at this land. Moses I don't know who Moses sounds like, some sort of New Yorker. But I told you. Maybe Jersey. But then verse 37, but I also got it because of you. God's anger spilled out onto me.
So that's going to come up a lot in the next 5 chapters. It is clear that humble a man as he is, Moses is a little bitter about this whole not being able to go to the promised land thing.
I feel like he feels like their wrath is really leaning in towards him, and so he's got to paint a picture where he's like, but it wasn't all like wasn't all like nice and roses for me either, because God was mad at me. Yeah, sure, we sacrificed all the stuff, and I got the first shares of all the food that you had to sacrifice when we did the goat offerings and things. Yeah, but God was mad at me too, so don't think I got off easy.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, he's got to hold up his. But he says multiple times. In chapter 1, he says it in 37, because of you, this is NIV, because of you, the Lord became angry with me also. This is definitely some and that won't be the last time I'll read a verse that sounds exactly like that. So I feel like he's got a little something. I also wanted to shout out verse 44, which I really liked. The Amorites, this is Moses recounting to the people the journey that got us to here. The Amorites who lived in those hills came out against you. They chased you like a swarm of bees. And that to me just was like coming across like a very country saying, something, they chased you like a swarm of bees is a little akin to something we say down here in the South all the time. They's on you like a wet armadillo on a Friday night. You know what I mean?
We do say that.
We're always saying that.
Because there's so many armadillos.
And then I did a little pet project where I think you could sort of come up with any country saying.
Okay. Let's give it a shot.
So here's what I need from you.
Okay.
I need an emotion. Any emotion will do.
Giddy.
Okay. I need an adjective.
Downtrodden.
Okay. I need just some sort of natural thing that can be found in the South.
A pecan.
Okay. And then I need some sort of social event that would be on your anything on your family calendar right now.
A homecoming dance.
Okay. So your country saying here, and I'll share this formula with the class. Oz is giddy. as a downtrodden pecan after a homecoming dance. And it kind of works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you put the feeling in there.
Because someone from the South knows what a pecan feels like. And they say pecan.
You've seen a downtrodden pecan before. Yeah. You know the cheery ones from the downtrodden
Well, the giddy ones. You
I
know
was-
how not giddy they
I
are.
was as giddy as a downtrodden pecan after a homecoming dance. And you're like, I get it. I know what that feels like. Because really, it's just the first word you're worried about. That's what we do here in the South. We take an emotion and we just use more words to explain it.
Well, kind of, but it's the level of it. So you got the emotion,
Right.
but then now we know what we're targeting. Now, what level are we going ironic? We're not giddy at all. Is it downtrodden pecan at a homecoming dance?
Right.
Is it sad, or is it really extremely giddy? Because that's when people get all excited about.
That's right.
The pecans.
So that's what you can do at home. It starts with eyes as. You have to say that. Eyes as, emotion as, adjective, natural thing that can be found in the South after a social event on your calendar. Or before a. Depending, and again, there's like a little kind of make it your own. It's like jazz, you kind of everybody plays their part. But I'll put that in the show notes of the podcast as a big takeaway for everybody.
My take on just Deuteronomy 1 was I wish I could have just read this first and gotten my recap, because that was enough recap I needed. I didn't need all the laws and the bells and whistles and things we had to make out of tungsten and wood.
This chapter does a lot for
Exodus, Leviticus.
That's another reason to retell stuff. You get better at it every time.
You're
honing
more
it in.
succinct.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 2.
Wait, I also like 46 of chapter
sorry.
1. You stayed in Kadesh many days, all the time you spent there.
Many.
That's how many. That you were there. You was there as long as you were there. Similar country saying. You take that to the bank.
It is what it is. Deuteronomy 2 starts off, then we turned around and went back into the wilderness, following the route to the Red Sea as God had instructed me. God's idea, not mine. Thanks, Moses. We worked our way in and around the hills of Seir for a long time.
Right.
And I love, he says that for a long, long time. And I feel like Moses is going, but I had a shortcut. I had one.
Okay,
but but then because God had us for a long, it would have been a lot shorter if I would have done it, but I was listening to God. Because don't be mad at me. This is another instance where I think he feels like he's on the chopping block right before he dies. His legacy is about to be it's gonna be sealed at this point, and it could you're remembered for how you finish.
Just trying to get some T's crossed, some I's dotted. It's funny that was it's definitely the tone of the beginning of Deuteronomy chapter 2. I've never once had this thought, but in this last reading, I was like, it would be funny to me. I don't actually think this is real. I don't think anything we say in this podcast is serious. But I was like, I wonder if God was like, oh, I was going to have you guys wander around for 4 years, but then Moses got lost and he couldn't find his way back. So it became 40 years.
Right. We need them both in the room at the same time.
I thought 4 years was plenty, personally. I was like, this is good. But he was way turned around. And he didn't want to ask for directions. You know him. So he kept going to Seir, and then everybody was like, haven't we seen this pool before? This palm? I think I've seen this before. I was like, no, I don't.
God told me to
where I'm supposed to
do
go.
that again.
Because that's the way he's writing this. He said, for a long time we made around that. Then the Lord said to me, you've made your way around this hill country long enough. Now turn north. It's like, oh, again, don't do more with this than what I'm saying. I just think it'd be funny if it was actually, that's when I figured out where I was. Just in that moment, I was like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to be going that way. God let us off the hook a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm about to go on a road trip with my family, and I'm gonna be lost and run out of gas. Be like, well, God told me to run out of gas first, and then walk to the gas station, and here we are. God told me to take that risk.
There's a chance this is punishment for something you guys did.
Have you thought about that? Absolutely.
Have you done some real digging to see? Chapter 2 continues. I like 10, and again, this is not. This is factual. Like these are later years for Moses, and boy, he's telling a story. He's got attention, and he starts giving some details. And I love a story that is detail oriented. So in verse 10, you get the Emites used to live there, a people strong and numerous and as tall as the Anakites. Like the Anakites, they too were considered Rephaites, but the Moabites called them Emites.
Them's fighting words.
I like back in the day when we used to send mites. Now everybody sends these Emites. Yeah. The Emites used to live there, people strong and numerous. Like the Anakites, they were considered Rephaites, but the Moabites called them Emites. And this is where everyone's listening, like. And I always wonder the like, when you're canonizing scripture through the time, how many people have had to translate this into different languages?
I know.
And gone, this just, all right, well, yeah, we left it in this long. We're gonna keep rocking with it.
Yeah, gotta. In the Message translation, it says the Emites, also called monsters, and then the Rephaites were ghosts, and then the Zamzumites, that's the real one, were barbarians. I know. So monsters and ghosts and barbarians. Oh my.
Oh my. Sorry for all the noises, by the way. There's a lot happening around us right now as we study. That's what I called this very serious endeavor of ours. Zamzumites is definitely good. Also, yeah, okay. I'm glad you started tapping into this because this is weird Bible stuff that we all know I get excited about.
Boy.
It's the next chapter. I don't want to get too far ahead.
No, don't skip.
I had my last one for this chapter for me personally was in verse 16. This was just a funny premise to me. Now, when the last of these fighting men among the people had died, again, the words that Moses passed along from God were that all of the fighting men, when they refused to go to the promised land, were going to die. When the last of them died, the Lord said to me, "Today you can pass by the region of Moab at Ar, or Ar." And there was just, I wonder if there was one fighting age guy. You know, there had to be a last one that you were like, "Hey, Grandpa," or... So we're still in the desert.
Do you are you feeling like fighting anything, like a lion or anything? I bet you could take on a lion with your bare hands. I bet you're wise enough.
Hey, Grandpa, there's a lion out there that said there's no way you could fight him.
Not with your bare hands.
I told him, I don't know.
I said I bet he could close his eyes and walk into
That'd
that
be
fight.
crazy, because then we get to go to the promised land and stuff.
That
But
would be the next step.
that lion is so strong, you probably couldn't.
No, you wouldn't want to. No, here, drink this. Don't worry about it. Again, this is a chapter where we're recapping a lot of stuff. So that's why we're skipping through. We're saving you some time, but if you want to go back and read it, of course.
Yeah, it's a retelling of the journey thus far.
Yeah, that we've already told. It's fine.
Yeah.
But then this, like, for me, down in verse, like, 32, 36 space, it says, while we were... Moses is going through... And again, recapping, so he says, so Sihon and his entire army confronted us in battle at Jahaz. God handed him, his sons, and his entire army over to us, and we utterly crushed them. While we were at it, we captured all his towns and totally destroyed them. A holy destruction. Men, women, and children, no survivors. The word holy destruction. Holy. We had a holy killing of kids. We slaughtered children and women and civilians and destroyed towns in the utmost of holiest ways.
Is it H-O-L-Y?
H-O-L-Y. I find there to be some amount of irony there.
Yeah.
But I'm no scholar.
Tough.
I just don't know that people should be slaughtered.
It's an interesting thing, too, because you do get some of these tellings, and I don't know that this is one of them, where you will get, like, a description like that, and then the people group will show up later. I think we maybe have covered that on another podcast, but they'll be like, we got all of them. Nobody left that battle. A couple years later, we came upon the Midianites.
It turned out a couple were on the side of the street.
We were in
ran
the
away.
one town, and there was another town.
And what's funny is they were really mad. They didn't just give up. and they wanted to fight back.
Oh, it's you guys.
And they kept fighting us like 30, 40
Believe
years
that.
later. That's weird. We thought
crazy.
like when we break their will, they're of course going to give up.
Yeah.
But it works nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Deuteronomy 3, then Moses continues, and we turned north and took the road to Bashan. Og, king of Bashan, he and all his people came out to meet us in Edrei. So God, our God, verse 3, handed Og, king of Bashan, over to us, Og and all his people, and we utterly crushed them. Again, no survivors. Again, very holy. Very holy
holiest
killing
way.
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe
I
did it on Easter or something. This is where my weird stuff comes in.
Go on.
By the way,
We're not
Og-
supposed to be learning here, by the way.
Og, king of Bashan. It talks about his bed here, which is an interesting little tidbit in verse 11. Og, king of Bashan, was the last of the Rephaites, which I think was interesting. You said the message even translated into like more of a concept than a people.
The barbarians.
His bed was decorated with iron and was more than 9 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. It is still in Rabbah of the Ammonites. I haven't been to Rabbah, so I can't confirm if it's like still there. But this was interesting. 9 cubits is about 13 and a half to 14 feet. So when it said that his bed was more than 9 cubits long, he was either a giant or
Yeah,
really,
a lot of parties.
really wild sleeper.
Yeah,
Turning all night.
yeah, sleeper.
Stay on the bed.
Yeah, that's what he's doing in his bed.
14 feet. That's a big bed.
That's a big bed.
Yeah. So a lot of people think this is a giant people. Og, king of Bashan. And that's why it was kind of recounted in the triumphs. It was like, we got the giants. Not the New York football giants.
The San Francisco baseball giants.
I also had verse 19 as a little note. Do you have anything between those?
No, like Deuteronomy 3, again, it's just a recap. My only thing, it was more of Moses saying, well, but God was still angry at me because of you. He wouldn't listen.
He says it so many times in these.
So many times.
Like, God was mad at me.
Don't forget, it's your fault.
And I actually really like your point when you start to build in context, because the people, like a lot, like there's been times where like they all get sick and die, or like they just get wiped out immediately. And Moses makes it through all those. So I feel like I think it's a really good point you're making of like, I mean, God was mad at me. Not as mad as he was at you guys, but he was mad at me too, just so you know.
And it was because of you. God,
I didn't even do anything wrong.
We're friends. I've been talking to God this whole time. Like we chit chat. Sometimes we argue. I argue with God on your behalf. Like all the arguing I do with God is for you. I risk my life for you. Talking to God.
I'm be honest. I think right now I owe God $5. Right, it just remembered. I owe God $5.
God's mad at me.
So there's stuff with me too. Just you guys are the ones that die.
So if you kill me now because you're mad, then you're gonna owe God $5. Laws of Moses. Them's the rules. You remember, we wrote them down.
Times 2, double it. Also, if I'm in the city with the people, you can't kill me there. Safe zone. Remember, I made those.
Unless it was an accident.
Verse 19, yeah, he does, but he says it many times in this passage. I like in 19, he says, he's talking to like distributing the land, and he says, however, your wives, your children, and your livestock, I know you have much livestock, may stay in the towns I've given you until the Lord gives rest to your fellow Israelites as he has to you, and they too will be taken. There's this little annotated note in there where he says, I know you have much livestock. And it just to me was like, they've said this a lot. And we came upon this same exchange earlier where they wanted to stay in a town that was better suited for livestock. And I just get the sense that Moses forgot they had a bunch of livestock.
I know.
And they had to keep going like... he's like, all right, everybody, we gotta go. Like, oh, I didn't know we were leaving today. Yeah, just get ready and go. Well, Moses, we got like 1,000
Right.
sheep. We have to like, it's a whole thing for us.
Right.
Oh, I forget you guys have the sheep.
It's like going at like if you're hanging out with people that don't have kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, let's go. We'll go out.
Right.
We'll stay out late. We'll go on
Right,
a cruise.
right.
We're gonna stay up till midnight. We're gonna go party. We're gonna have a great time. Yeah, we have kids. Shoot. That's right. Can they stay with their grandparents? Their grandparents are dead. No, they can't.
You know what it also reminds me of is when somebody remembers that like you don't do milk. And then they're like, I got you. See what I got you? And you're like, yeah, thanks. It's
coconut oat.
yeah, no, okay. Mm-hmm. So it's for coffee.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
I
I'm gonna put it in the fridge.
I just do.
Like, I don't know what else to do.
Thanks. I just do black.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for me. I appreciate that you remembered. There were many times I was here and you didn't have it, and now you do have it, and that's cool. That's progress.
Moses. I know you. I remember you have animals.
I remember I said.
Yeah.
Because you have the livestock. You said you have the livestock? Still got the livestock?
Yeah, I do. It's what we've been eating this whole time.
Everybody eats it. Steakhouse that you go to for your birthday, it's ours.
It's ours. Deuteronomy 4.
I'm sorry, I had another one.
Oh,
23.
jeez.
So this is an interesting thing. Again, this whole 5 chapters, a lot of like, it's your guys' fault. I'm not going to the promised land. Sure. We get to 23, verse 23. Moses straight up asks, at that time, I pleaded with the Lord, sovereign Lord, you have begun to show to your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For what God is there in heaven or on earth who can do the deeds and mighty works you do? Let me go over and see the good land beyond the Jordan, that fine hill country in Lebanon. Just straight up asks, like just straight up. And my note here I just made was shoot or shoot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Shoot or shoot. And I'm thinking of Jesus in the garden. I'm thinking of Moses right here. Shoot or shoot. You say, I think I'm pretty certain of the answer of this. But, and I like the buttering up at the beginning.
Let me get a little peek.
God, you're so awesome and great, and I love you so much. Mm-hmm. You're great. How about you change that? How about you change that rule?
I know what you've been saying.
And then it goes, but because the Lord was angry with me and would not listen to me, that is enough, the Lord said. Do not speak to me anymore about this matter. But shoot or shoot, Tim.
Got it.
That was my takeaway. Now we can go to Deuteronomy 4.
Again, continues on. Now listen, Israel, listen carefully to the rules and regulations that I'm teaching you to follow so that you may live and enter and take possession of the land that God, the God of your fathers, is giving to you. So he's prepping them for going into the promised land. He says, you saw with your own eyes what God did at Baal Peor, how God destroyed from among you every man who joined the Baal Peor orgies. But you know the ones who held tight to God, your God, are alive and well, every one of you today. And I wonder if you think some of the guys that are there, because they survived, because they didn't go to these orgies, if they were like, I mean, I was invited. I was invited to the Baal Peor. They wanted me there. There's a lot of people that wanted me there, but
yes.
I mean, I was steadfast.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go. I refused them. Yeah. So that's why I didn't go. There was a lot of people were talking me up. Like, I'd be great at it.
There was always that youth group teacher or leader for the dudes.
Right.
This was your experience. It was like, I got to college, and girls were like, you want to kiss right now?
Like, no, they weren't.
I don't think they were. No, they were. And I was like, you want to hold hands and kiss and stuff? And I was like, no, I'm not.
I didn't get with any women. I could, but I could.
But I can't tell you how many times. I'm telling you, walking to class, just mind my own business. You want to kiss right now? And I'm like, no, stop. And you're just like, as a kid, you're like, I don't think this story's true.
You're looking at Frank wearing his white Keds, and you're like, you don't.
I don't think this is what happened.
That didn't happen.
I get what you're trying to tell me. Mm-hmm. Just get to that. But just because you like walked on the sidewalk, there was another girl on the sidewalk. I don't think she was trying to kiss you, Mark. But thank you for sharing, I guess. We're in 4, right?
We sure are.
I like in 13. He talks about. He's retelling the story of getting the 10 commandments. And he says, he declared to you this covenant, the 10 commandments, which he commanded you to follow. And then he wrote them on 2 stone tablets. And he continues telling the story from there. What I like that he just conveniently omits is that the first 2 tablets he broke. So it seems like a retelling there where you're just like, God wrote on 2 tablets and we have the tablet. Mm-hmm. God wrote on tablets that we have.
We have some now.
That's true. We have tablets God wrote on. Kind of the too long didn't read. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, we don't need really long emails. Yada yada.
We're just gonna wrap up. This is a retelling. We're not telling the whole story again. It was just a quick recap.
The God that created the universe. hand wrote some stuff that maybe somebody misplaced or broke in a fit of rage. Who knows? We don't know. The point is we have some stuff. And that's what I think we all need to celebrate here today.
Verse 5 and 6, Moses is telling them, he says, pay attention. I'm teaching you the rules and regulations that God commanded me so that you may live by them in the land you're entering to take up ownership. Keep them, practice them. You'll become wise and understanding. When people hear and see what's going on, they'll say, what a great nation. So wise, so understanding. We've never seen anything like it. And it's just like, what a buffoon. We've stopped believing you. You were making up these stories about yourself. You were telling us what God has said and what God told you to do, and you don't know what you're doing. You're the worst leader we've ever known. You've let us wander. I would be one of the people complaining, and I think I would be justified.
Here's where I'm at. I'm at like a little softer than that, shockingly. You were so great in your heyday. And I think this happens today.
Uh-huh.
If I may. And I'm rhyming too much. That's okay. Man, there's a moment you got a young Moses throwing the staff down. There's a snake. You're leading us out. You're showing up Pharaoh left, right, and center. And then there comes a time where it's like, maybe this is fading a hair because you're just a little bit of the zest is gone.
Yeah.
Maybe Joshua should have taken over a couple of years ago. But Josh is kind of making it work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Again, and I'm not going to say he was bitter. I would like to read these verses and let you think to yourself. Verse 21, the Lord was angry with me because of you, and he solemnly swore that I would not cross the Jordan and enter the good land the Lord your God is giving you as your inheritance. I will die in this land. I will not cross the Jordan, but you're about to cross over and take possession of that good land.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Moses. It is what it is at this point.
I mean, to me, honestly, the whole thing just gives very like Trumpy vibes, like how he says things.
Careful.
How I know. I'm just saying, there's like a lot of people going like, are we done? Even like strong supporters are going, are we done yet? Are we done with this? Like, can we move on? Mm-hmm. He's like, but no, you'll be great. They're gonna say, what a great nation, what a great people group. But it was your fault. I was the one. I just did what God told me to do, and you. It was because God was angry with you that things aren't going so well for me right now.
Right.
It's like very like constantly passing the buck. It's just exhausting.
There's some buck passing. I stopped short of a Trump comparison, but I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying the sound of it.
I hear what you're saying.
This reads Trumpy. What a great nation, so wise, so understanding. We've never seen anything like it. This is what other people are gonna say.
This is what they'll say
about
if you do
the
this
nation.
stuff.
If you do the things that I'm telling you to do, that's what people are gonna say.
Right.
It's very. It's a bit arrogant, I might say.
You can definitely tell he's hyping up. This is a people group in his lifetime of leading that has not followed the instructions anytime they've been given instructions. So he's really trying to like sell.
Maybe here's the thing: is
the instructions.
It's the storyteller tells that part of the story,
right. Yeah,
and maybe they did fine, and maybe they're going, "Hey, dude, you just led us around in circles because you're lost, and we're upset about it."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, but you got to stick with the faith. You got to stay with the program."
Yeah, it's the whole story. The first 5 books of the Bible are just fascinating for that reason, because you have the people that leave Egypt and like pretty immediately are like, it stinks out here. Let's go back. That's the sentiment we get from them.
Right.
You also get Moses, who is like portrayed as obviously a pillar of the faith and things, but like not a perfect person. So you're right to read into that, like, yeah, guy killed a guy because he was in a fit of rage.
That
like,
I can actually look past.
There's stuff that like he's got his stuff. The Israelite people have their stuff, and you get this coming together. Now you get Moses kind of rehashing it in his in some of his later times. We're still in 4, right?
Yeah. What do you got? Because I'm in like verse 25, 28.
Oh, go ahead.
So he's still talking to them. When the time comes, you have children and grandchildren, put on years and start taking things for granted. Then you become corrupt and make any carved. If you then become corrupt and make any carved images, no matter what their form, by doing so is sheer evil in God's eyes. So he's like, don't make graven images.
Yeah.
We've been through this before. Believe me, he's talking about the promised land. Believe me, you'll have a very short stay there. You'll be ruined, completely ruined. God will scatter you far and wide. A few of you will survive here and there in nations where God will drive you. There, and then he starts to be sarcastic. There, you can worship your homemade gods to your heart's content. Your wonderful gods of wood and stone that can't see or hear or eat or smell. And I imagine some guy in the back's going like, or touch or swim. Or go fishing. And his buddy next to him is like, or go to the bale pail orgies.
Hey.
High five.
Because we were invited. I know we're here now, but we were invited. We didn't go.
Yeah. I just, like, the dudes existing
Dudes have
have
been
always
dudes.
existed.
Yeah.
And I imagine them existing in that moment. Some just sarcastic dude.
Yeah.
Or go fishing. They can't do a lot of things, Mr. Moses.
Yeah, they can't do any of the things. I did think it was an interesting.
Believe it or not, God isn't going fishing with us either. And as far as you know, God's not eating or drinking or smelling. Like we don't know. But good point about the wooden idols too.
I struggle with points like that, not because they're not true, just because it's like the one I've often like recoiled at is somebody every once in a while be like, humans are the only animals that drink another animal's milk, and they're referencing cow's milk. And I'm like, I mean, but we're also the only ones that like wear pants. So I don't think we should like not because
We're
the other
idiots.
animals aren't wearing pants. We do so many things the other animals don't do. That
We're the only animals in the world that rely on the internet for navigation.
right.
Okay.
There's a lot, guy. There's a lot
GPS, that does the thing.
that we don't do. No, mine, I had a little bit just from the same thing. It's just in the NIV it says, there you will worship man-made gods of wood and stone which can't see or hear or taste or smell. And I just, these gods seem pretty senseless to me.
It's good.
Because they don't have sense.
Yeah, they don't have the senses.
Yeah,
I got
you
it.
can't do any of that.
I got it. I think they all got it.
Okay, everyone's seeing it.
Yep, everybody got it.
Deuteronomy 5.
Yeah. Well, I had a little bit, not anything like crazy, but later on in 4, Moses set aside the 3 towns in the country on the east side of the Jordan to which someone had unintentionally killed a person could flee and find refuge. So again, just going back, and he named the places and like where they were, and I looked them up on a map, and it was kind of cool. Like this is all around. This is like Jerusalem adjacent, like into Jordan, like southern Syria, and like there's like real places, and they can't like find some of these places in real life, but they're real, darn it.
Refuge cities, man.
Deuteronomy 5. If you accidentally kill somebody, you have a safe place
You
to
gotta
go.
have a place to go. It's just interesting that was so noted.
There were so many people.
So many accidental murders.
They had to have a town just specifically for them.
And then people trying to retaliate for those murders. Yeah. Deuteronomy 5.
Deuteronomy 5. Moses teaches Israel on the plains of Moab, and this is where we're gonna wrap up. So Moses called all Israel together. He said to them, "Attention, Israel, listen obediently to the rules and regulations I am delivering to your listening ears today. Learn them, live them." Which I just like that. It's like God's rules. I'm God, your God, who brought you out of Egypt. No, out of the house of slaves. You should have no other gods, only me. No carved gods of any size. No working on the Sabbath. Keep it holy, just as God, your God, commanded. Work 6 days, doing everything you have to, but the 7th day is Sabbath, a rest day. No work, not you, your son, your daughter, your servant, your maid, your ox, your donkey, or any of your animals, and not even the foreigner visiting your town. But like, how can I honestly make sure my donkey isn't working? Like on his own time, on his own free time. How do I know that when I send my donkey out to the field, that he's like pushing a little boulder, that he's not going to do that?
Right.
Like, I got to get this out of the way.
And
I'm trained to work.
If he loves it.
Yeah. How do you know? How can I regulate that?
I do think that's very funny, but what I know right away, that I know so little, is that they really spent so much time thinking about this, and people still today that try to honor the Sabbath for themselves, for their animal, for everything, they really, it's fascinating to me that they really thought about so many things over the years.
Yeah.
there's like ovens that start a certain way that you can start them on the Sabbath because like you're not allowed to like start a fire or something akin to that. So I don't know. It's when you say that I'm like, there's an answer. There's something.
Yeah, and on the same note, like not to get too into things, but like when people are so adamant about Old Testament law, like there's one that said a whole lot.
I know,
and it's about work. There's a lot about working on the Sabbath,
dude.
And people are really quick to jump on like one little verse here or there or like, yeah. If you want to take that one so seriously, maybe take the one seriously that said 100 times, and then also maybe take the stuff that Jesus said literally or seriously literally. Maybe do that too. But it's just so funny that we can ignore this thing that God is saying like this is as important. It's like the next line down from not having other gods besides God. Right. Going. Yeah, no, don't work on, seriously, don't work on the Sabbath. And we're like, well, maybe a little bit. I'll just move along.
I know. I was just prepping for today and I get guilty on this every single time, which I know it's its own issue, but I was like, it's truly, and that's one that's like never, in the same way, like don't murder. This isn't one that gets adjusted. There's no context for this. This one is one that just is persistent. It's like, I don't know. At the risk of getting too serious on that one, I do think it's like how I ignore that one a lot.
It's just I know.
So when you force yourself to go back in and read it, you're like, man, they're talking about that one a lot.
My only point in that is if you're gonna take one super seriously, I mean, I guess like murder, that's a pretty serious one because that's illegal to do nowadays. If you're going to take one super seriously, especially one plucked out of almost nowhere, then take all of them seriously, especially the ones that have been mentioned over and over and
over again. Yeah, that's a great point. I liked just the flow of the Ten Commandments. Ten Commandments are one of those things. It's sort of like Noah's Ark or something. Sometimes you're familiar with the Bible and Bible stories. You don't actually read them like for a long period of time because you're like, I know the gist. Maybe you're a better Christian than me and you'd read them all the time. But in this reading, it was very funny to me, just the flow, because it was like...
I just love the idea of the Israelites going, yeah, I got the gist. Okay.
There's 10.
There's 10 of them. I can't be bothered to read them all.
There's a time later, spoiler alert, but it's one of my favorite like Bible's funny moments. Paul's writing a letter, and he's recounting them, and he lists like 3 of them, and then he's like, and you know the rest. That's real. I don't know the reference on the top of my head, but it's a real thing in one of his letters. But here's what, if you actually read Deuteronomy 5, it's like, you should have no other gods before me. This is the NIV, verse 7. You like expounding on that in the next verse. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or in the earth below or in the waters below, and bow to them and worship them, for I am the Lord your God. You have 11. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses the name. Verse 12, observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy as the day the Lord your command. Verse 16, honor your father and your mother as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that, verse 17, you shall not murder. And if anyone has a follow-up question, honestly, kick them out. Like, what? Don't murder, right? We're on the same page. And
unless it's by accident, then it's not...
It's not murder.
It's not murder.
It's an accident. It's manslaughter.
Just the manslaughter.
Which I've always thought sounds so much worse. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. Like, murder feels like I go right to crows. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bird guy. But like murder is just like, I don't know, it kind of rolls off the tongue when you're like, manslaughter. That feels like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just an accident.
Oh, it's actually a lighter one. That's an accident. And then my last thing there was I think like kind of a big reveal at the end of Deuteronomy 5. Moses talking to the people, he says in 28. He's talking about a time when he's recounting the story where the people said something to him and he said something to God, and he goes back and forth. And then in 28, he says, the Lord heard you when you spoke to me. And then the Lord said to me, I've heard what this people said to you. Everything they said was good. And I just feel like it's like the people probably caught on at this point, but he's like, I got to tell you guys here while I'm still with you. God hears it all. You come to me to say it to God, but God knows. God knows right away when you say it. And they're like, yeah, no, we know. But, Moses probably felt like that was really a vulnerable moment. And that's all I had. You have anything else from 5?
That's it. That's all I got.
Deuteronomy 1 through 5. A recap of Bible chapter 1 through 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Books 1 through 4.
Well, books like 2, really like 2.5 through 4.
True. Yeah.
And also like 2.5 and like 3 were also kind of recapped in 4. But that's recap of a recap of it.
Some interesting stuff too in 5. We only talk about the funny stuff here. I think it's either in 5 or 4, but there's some good words in there Moses is talking about the nature of God. Well, that's all I'm going to throw out there for you, for your other podcasts and your personal reading times. Because it's not really what we dive into here, but they're nice.
Gross.
They're sweet.
Get out of here.
They're good.
Get out of here.
All right, I'll leave. That's Deuteronomy chapters 1 through 5. We'll pick it up from there. Next time we gather, you have done Cheat Day Devos. Good job for you. You did your Bible reading today. Get your gold star. Did you learn anything, Tim, today that you wanted to tell people?
No. I mean, I learned more that I just kind of, I'm ready for Moses to be moving on. I'm kind of over him at this point in the story. It's time.
Yeah.
He had a run. He had to get a really good strong
run.
and then like kind of rode that leadership, if you can call it that, for a while.
Run.
And now it's just the sun is setting. Let's just go to bed.
You get this, like you get, for me right now, in these old basketball players, where you're like, they're like, I remember, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were doing this, and you're like, it's cool story. And then they go to like, today's game, they don't know how to play basketball. And you're like, no, I mean, okay. I'll tell you, a player today wouldn't score a point again. And then you're like, all right.
All right, Grandpa.
All right, Grandpa. They're actually like much taller and faster and stronger. And pretty much you guys were part-time plumbers. It's cute. It's sweet. You guys had a great time. I love hearing your stories. But sometimes we got to go away with the... Oh, I was going to say one more thing about this that I love. In Moses in this text, this is a positive shout out. Because I think there is wisdom in what people that have a lot of experience have to share. But my experience I've had is just like Moses, and I'm bumming I didn't remember it then, but I was just like, oh man, that really hit with me. You get to this point where you take it to the end, and you go like, you know what you if you have a spouse, you should resolve everything before you go to bed, and you should make peace. Life's too short. Don't fight about sillies. Oh yeah, that's really good. If you go to bed angry, you're gonna wake up in a bad place. You're gonna drift. You're gonna find yourself wishing you were other people and lived other lives. And the kids will start to drift on you. And you look at your kid and you'll say, I can't stand who I could have become.
Okay. We land in this plane or what?
That's exactly. It's like, I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there right now. But the first part was good, what you said. But you've lived a lot of life and you've seen a lot of things and you just want to say it all.
And you got to let him talk because also he's the writer, possibly.
He's the writer in this case. Deuteronomy 1 through 5. Sorry, I was really trying to remember that last anecdote, but I was like, oh yeah, I've experienced that. When the beginning of the quote was good.
And much like Grandpa, kept on going.
Which reminds me. Just kidding. Love you. We'll be back here with another Cheat Day Devos here real soon. We'll pick it up in Deuteronomy chapter 6. And we'll talk to you then. Until then, follow us at The Bible is Funny on TikTok, Instagram. Rate and review the podcast. Talk to you then. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
The Bible